and what did it get me? Why did I do it?
I have an idea of why you did it. Probably because you're retarded. We're back for another episode of trying to figure out why student loan borrowers are taking out hundreds of thousands of dollars to have meltdowns on TikTok to try and pay them back. It's literally tons of fun. Let's follow along. Let's watch the first meltdown.
I owe $103,000 in student loan debts. I think the government took advantage of me. I didn't know any better. I was a first-generation graduate. Grew up in a small town, poor town. Used to shop at the dollar store for clothes. I didn't understand the ramifications of borrowing money from the government and had no one to explain it to me. Reading a document wasn't enough because I didn't make that connection that I needed.
So props to her for at least not saying, like, no one told me about these loans. So she got the loan counseling, right? She probably went through FAFSA. You have to get the mandatory counseling. We've already gone over this. And, like, she saw that number, saw the interest, and was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to college, baby. Everybody around me is poor. I'm going to college. I'm going to be rich, dude. All I got to do is go to college, and I'll be rich. I don't have to do well in college. I don't have to pick a good degree. All I have to do is go to college, and I'll be loaded.
Of how serious it was borrowing money from the government. I literally
or
thought,
anybody.
Oh my God, I'll be making $30-some thousand as a teacher. I can afford to pay that off. Nobody told me that $30,000 wasn't a lot of money. It's because the people I grew up with didn't even make that.
Yeah, but if you thought $30,000 wasn't a lot of money, how did you somehow think taking out $100,000 wasn't taking out a metric shit ton of money? Like, that's 3 times what you thought a lot of money was. Like, dude, it's so weird that these people upload these TikToks and their own logic doesn't even make sense, and they post this. I mean, like, this hurts my brain, guys. I don't know.
So to them, that was a lot of money.
But 100,000 wasn't? What?
The system failed us. So no, I'm not gonna pay them back.
The system did not fail you. Your brain failed you. And you can decide if you don't want to pay them back, but they're going to garnish your Social Security. If you probably try and sell a house, they're probably going to start taking that. And they're just going to start garnishing wages from your paycheck. You're going to pay it back, unfortunately, one way or another.
Took advantage of me. Now that last $23,000, I'll pay that back because I knew better then. I knew what I was doing. So I'll pay that back. But the other $83,000, nah. Y'all took advantage of me. So, I don't know where you're going to get it from, but...
They took advantage of her by allowing her to go to college and make more money than anybody around her, which, once again, that was part of her argument. She just went into one of the lowest paying, probably the lowest paying college degree you could. But yeah, the system took advantage of her by giving her that opportunity, and then she just selected the dumbest way of doing it. Like, this is the system, guys. This is the system. And this is what we've been saying in all of these videos. The government needs to go to these people and be like, guess what? You can't go to college. Or you can't go to this college. You can't go to a college that expensive because you're doing something so dumb that no matter how bad you want it, you can't have it. And it's going to be government overreach, but these people need it, dude. Some people need to be treated like children, which is sad. I don't think it's the way of going, but I don't think it's the way it should be, but it might be the way it has to be to prevent people like this from ending up on TikTok and entertaining all of us.
You don't get it from me.
Oh, Lord, bro. What?
These student loans are really making me regret ever going to college, considering I'm not even doing anything in my degree. But, like, these calls are just a reminder that I'm, like, first of all, doing nothing with my life. Second of all, broke as shit. And yes, I hee ha ha about it here, but like it's literally not a joke. It's like embarrassing, and it's like the most stressful thing, and I never want to be the person that's like driven by money. Like, that's not me, but like sometimes I wish I was, so I wouldn't be in the position I am in. And like dealing with these calls and having to basically say my situation, like I literally cannot pay off an amount on these damn student loans. And then the fact that they're so relentless, they call every person in my family, they call people not related to me, but like associated with me, and I don't even know how it's just crazy. And it's like, I hate it. It's like you're coming at me for my own little debt when this country's in debt. Like, It's so frustrating.
I love this argument. She's like, I can't pay on these loans. What am I supposed to do? They're calling my neighbor. You know, they're essentially trying to collect the money. Like, why would they do this? I've said this on other videos, but guess what? When you owe people money, they come to collect. It's a novel argument. I don't know how successful it's going to be. I mean, the government owes so much money. So why should I have to pay back my student loans? Like, shouldn't we focus on that debt? It's like, well, man. Wait. Student loans add to the national deficit. So if we want to lower the national deficit, if we get student loan debtors to pay back their loans, that would lower the deficit. Oh, wait. So they are doing exactly like her own argument is why they're trying to pay back the loans. Like, it's just. But let's imagine. Let's go to a world where that wasn't the case, right? Would this even work for anything unrelated, right? If I was like, hey, I gave my brother $100. I was like, hey, man, can you give me that $100 back? And he's like, do you know how much money mom and dad are in debt to pay this house off? Why are you focused on the debt that I owe you? Focus on some other debt that's totally unrelated to this transaction between me and you. Like, what? And then, like I said, the debt transaction is related directly to the national debt. You owe the government money. Student loan debts. That is part of the government's fucking debt. You need to pay this off. Unless she has private loans. Okay? Unless she has private loans. We gotta take a step back. Unless she has private loans. And then they're gonna pursue you relentlessly because they don't they don't care about the government debt, right? It's between you and them. All they care about is, hey man, we gave you money. You gotta give us our money back. That's like the agreement. You signed to it. Bruh.
And it gets me so angry, and literally it's like I avoid these calls at all times. They send me into full-on panic attacks. But then sometimes I just have to make the call because they're calling everyone else in my life. And it's so frustrating. And yes.
It is. When you make bad decisions and those bad decisions come home to roost, it is very frustrating. She's 28, so I feel like she should know this by now. But I mean, this is part of life. Like, you have to learn these lessons, and it is how humans learn. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. If you don't have pain receptors, most of the people who are born without pain receptors die because they can't learn lessons to keep them alive, right? You touch a hot stove once and you're like, oh, never doing that again. Your parents can tell you 1,000 times never to do it. But the moment your hand gets burned, you're like, well, that's that, dude. This sucks. Every time I go in the shower, it's like sizzling. Woo, I hate it. You have to get burned. I do feel bad for some of these people because obviously they owe insane amounts of debt that they feel like is insurmountable, but this is where you are. You got to start making a plan to pay this off, figure out a way, get certain jobs, or maybe even go back to school. As weird as it sounds, sometimes that is the way, and get a better degree. Or just move overseas to Germany, right? Watch the last video. You can just move overseas to Germany and you don't have to pay them all back. But you gotta make a plan somehow to get under this because it's not going away.
Maybe I did it to myself. Maybe I should be smarter about money. Maybe
you did it to yourself. Who did it to you? I'm curious who that was. Who fucking hijacked your body and did this? I would love to hear that, dude.
Should just take on any job that like will pay me, and I'm luckily finally starting a job, but it's not what I want to be doing. Not using my degree. It's another serving job. It's fucking working at Hooters at 28 years old, living back at home. It's like, and then it's moments like these that make me question whether anything I want to do in life is going to happen, like at this stage, because it's so annoying. And I just had to vent because.
Is this like Instagram, or sorry, is this social media brain rot? I feel like a lot of the younger generation just has totally unrealistic expectations of like what life is going to be like. I see a lot of people through just my practice, and I talk to a lot of younger people through like the gym, and some of these people, like, They're like, oh, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get an English degree. And then, I'm going to write for this. And then, I'll buy this big house. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like our expectations are wild. A lot of people just expect to get their little college piece of paper and they just instantly get a job. I mean, I wish that was the case. That would be awesome. Awesome. But unfortunately, that's not reality. And that's honestly never been reality. It really hasn't. Even though people will go, oh, well, back in the day, it was easier to get a job. It was. Kinda. There were plenty of homeless people. Those people have dreams and aspirations too. Life is unfortunately hard. And especially with globalization, you're now competing with everybody. This happened. Man, I had someone come in, okay, and their mom works remote. And he was telling me how she worked remote, but now they're making her go back to the office because the pandemic was over and they're bringing her back to the office. She's like, I don't understand. Why can't she just work remote forever? And I was like, I mean, that would be nice. Obviously, no one wants to like do the extra commute to work if they don't have to. But a lot of the reason why she has that job is because she works near that job. Not a lot of jobs can hire people across the planet. However, if you have a remote job and you live in the United States, you have a cost of living that's way higher than everywhere around the globe. I mean, if you can hire someone in the Philippines, if you can hire somebody in Vietnam and pay them $1,000 a month, that's a lot of money to them. But to you, you couldn't even live off that. That'd probably be below minimum wage, illegal. But you can pay someone in Vietnam to do it. I mean, these remote jobs, this is a totally aside, but like remote work, as much as people say like, hey, this is the holy grail, this is the holy grail. A ton of people in the West say it's the holy grail. I was like, yeah, it's the holy grail if you're from a third world country. Because now if you can get a remote job in the US, dude, you're killing it. And the employer has every incentive to hire these people who are outside the US. If they can do the same job as you can, why am I going to pay you that much? A lot of the reasons Americans had good high-paying jobs is because there was no remote work. You had to hire other Americans. There's only so many Americans who can take the job in the area, right? So you had a little supply-demand thing there. But now if you can pull from the whole world of labor, dude, it's like, I don't know. All these people who are arguing for remote work, I just do not understand it. Yeah, I was like, especially if you're an American, I'm like, you are asking to get your job jacked. The H-1B visas, right? That Tesla's, literally, Elon Musk said it, Vivek Ramaswamy said it. They're like, dude, these H-1B visas, no one's as good as these workers. And it's not that no one's as good as them. It's that no one will provide the value that worker provides at such a low price. Like, it's essentially robbing the American worker. That's going to be my next video. My next video is going to be on how dumb remote work is. As much as it sounds great in theory, if you live in the West, it does not benefit you. I'm sorry. You're just asking for your job to eventually be moved overseas. Sorry, that was a little rant there. We're going to go to the next video. I'm feeling good today. So I was like, we're going to film. I'm going to get rid of some of these links that I had for other student loan debt.
I'm sure I'm not the only person in the world who completely forgot about student loans. I just checked and I owe like a lot of money and apparently I'm like late on my payments. What are you guys doing? Are you guys like paying your student loans back? Because like I'm a 26-year-old baby girl. I'm a teenage girl.
I'm just 26 years old. I'm too young. I can't, like, what is this infantilization with some of these younger people, man? They're always like, I was 17, I was 18, I'm a full-grown adult. Why? How can things be expected of me? Like, I'm 26. What am I supposed to do? I'm 28 living at home with my parents. How can I pay these loans back?
Teenage girl. How am I supposed to pay back student loans when I don't even have a job? No.
You get a job. Like, what is this? What are these arguments?
Like, I'm actually like really overwhelmed. Does anybody have any tips? No, yeah, I'm really overwhelmed.
Just get a job. Get a job, pay the loans back, and then the loans will start to go down. Does anybody, I mean, if you guys have anything you think she can do better, just put it in the comments. But it's that simple. Also, like and subscribe, guys. Do the like and subscribe.
Let me tell y'all something real quick. I go to sleep every night, good as hell, knowing I'm not paying back those student loans. Education should be fucking universal. Like, not just for certain demographics of the population. It should be free for.
Wait a second. Which demographics of the population are getting free education? I'm assuming she means people who are smart enough to get scholarships, who usually could pay back those loans and usually get good degrees. I don't, like, what demographic of the population is getting free education? The poor? Like, what? Like, people who get grant money? I don't understand.
For everybody. And since my government, right, is just too fuck ass and backwards to understand that shit, I'm going to take it upon myself to never pay you back. Like, and if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, y'all, it's as simple as taking a class or two for the rest of your life that will keep your loans in fucking deferment. Like, I have no problem being a lifetime learner. If it means.
So she doesn't mind paying the money back, but she wants to spend hours of her life wasting away while digging a deeper hole for what, the rest of her life? I'm very curious what happens to student loans when you die, too, if it's going to be literally held against your estate. I imagine it is, because this type of attitude, once it becomes prevalent enough, by the time she's old enough, they might actually just be like, yeah, when you die, everything you own, we're just going to take. Like, nothing's going to your kids. Nada.
Means that I'm never going to pay you back. Like, get on that.
Exactly. You're just going to go to school forever. You're essentially going to give up hours of your life. You're essentially going to work an unpaid job being a student by sitting there for the rest of your life. Like, you would have to do this forever, because theoretically you would have to do this even into retirement, which eventually you won't be able to do, and they're going to start garnishing your wages. It doesn't make sense, guys. These people, they don't make sense. They don't make sense. But anyway, another short video just of more crazy student loan TikToks. I mean, it never ends. But the next video is going to be on remote work. I'm telling you guys, remote work is going to blow up in all these remote workers' faces. I might say that because I'm a jaded guy who has to go to work, whose job literally cannot be done remotely. I work in healthcare. I have to be there to aid patients, but remote work, man, it's going to blow up. Tell me if you think it's not in the comments. I would love to hear an argument how remote work is not going to end up with all of these jobs outsourced to cheaper countries where people can do the same job for less. I just don't see it, especially with English becoming more and more popular. But like, subscribe, follow, do all the things you know you're supposed to do. This is a midweek video. I'll still try and do one more before I move. Hopefully get one more out. But yeah, there might be a week of no videos, guys, as I move. But I got internet set up at the new place this Friday. Let's go. Y'all have a great week, all right? Like, subscribe, follow. Yeah.